usual.
You talking to me? And you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Yes, I am. Unusually usual. We're still here. I'm with someone very special today. Someone that's with me every episode. Go ahead, little champ.
I cracked during my own intro. It's Technician Vic.
Clap, you little sluts.
All these people in the audience, nobody wants to fucking clap for
Vic,
us.
are you happy with your hair right now? Does your hair look good? I think your hair's fine. But some of the audience is saying otherwise.
I mean, what are you going to do with it, man?
It looks cool.
We out here.
Listeners, right off the bat, we have no special guests today. Even though Victor is special, he's not a guest. Yeah, no special guest appearances.
What song is that? I had my first album.
I had no special guest appearances. That's Nasir.
The outcome, we're labeled the best podcast hosts.
But yeah, so we don't have a guest this week. The reason for that is we're like, you know what? Let's just get a little crazy, a little intense and talk about some of our own stories. Me and Vic. We'll get into it in a little bit, but first
and foremost,
if you're hearing this right now in your headphones through your TV and you're wondering why it sounds so fucking good,
whoa. I thought they were here with me, but they're not. They're in.
You're like, where are they?
They're in TV land.
TV land. We're Hollywood now. Come on, you know this. So that's Campana Sound, by the way.
Campana Sounds, the Bay Area's very own.
Bay Area's very own. Thank you, Campana. But let's go ahead and get into what this episode's about. This episode is about a very special connection. Two brothers, two lovers,
two boys
lost
in the world, and somehow they found each other, but they were also stuck together.
And sometimes, you know, when you look into the sky and you see the sun and the moon
at the same time,
mm-hmm. That's this right here.
That's beautiful.
Technician Vic.
I'm the moon. I'm kind of gloomy, kind of quiet.
You provide light at night, though.
I'm wearing a black sweater.
Black, and I'm the sun because I'm hot.
And he shines like one.
I shine like what?
Why you always call me sun? Because you shine like one.
But okay.
Wait, whoa! I was gonna say something.
Please.
We have a very special bond too. Not a lot of people know this, but Gabriel and I shared a bedroom.
Yo,
I was like fucking 23 still.
I was so until Gabriel, 19.
We were like full ass adults.
Yeah.
So I was like. I've never met anybody else who shared a room that old. So I think that was a big thing, was like you and I were forced to cohabitate for so long that we just kind of like.
Yeah, I remember like when we finally got our own rooms because we moved, you know, we still lived with my mom at the time, but we moved and it was like, what the fuck? I have my own room. And I remember I took a picture of it and put it on Instagram like, I have my own fucking room now.
It 19. Was kind of nice, and I know I talk about this a lot, but to jerk off at my own leisure.
Yeah.
Because usually I would wait for him to fall asleep, or I'd go to the bathroom, or I'd wait. No, I didn't care. Mom would never walk in the room, but I'd always wait till Gay fell asleep.
Well, let's go ahead and get into that. Let's talk about some jacking off. I'll say when you and I shared rooms, how I jacked off, masturbated is the scientific term.
I think the scientific term is masturbatorio. It's Latin. Yes.
Latin origin. Thank you, Technician Vic, expert. But I never jacked off in the same room as you. I think I'd usually just go to the bathroom, do the shower.
Yeah.
Or
which that's a technique I still pull to this day. Sometimes just like
dude, I stopped doing the shower because I feel like it was fucked up to you guys.
But you jerk off on our couch, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, dude.
I guess that's a good point. That is pretty hypocritical.
It's disrespectful.
For listeners, I don't know if people do this. Sometimes I just don't want to sleep in my bed. I think if I get like overwhelmed throughout the work week or whatever, I just feel it's like stressful to go to my room. I feel a lot more free. We got Camera Chris in the house. Camera Chris, he relates. He's a couch sleeper as well. Sometimes he don't sleep in the bed.
For real?
So I like sleeping on the couch. And if you guys are in your room, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch some porn.
How you know I'm not gonna walk out here?
I got my ears ready. I'm just like
little sneaky boy.
And then I'll make sure, like, usually I get up, no one goes to the living room right away, so I'll wake up in the morning and go throw my little napkin or put my towel away. You know what I'm saying? But I'll put the
You got the nerve to let that motherfucker marinate on the floor overnight?
Yes, I do, but I'll put it in another napkin so it doesn't like get its juices on the floor. I'm polite.
That's cool.
But then also out of politeness too, if there's a little chips bag or something in the trash, I'll put it underneath the chip bag and put it away. You know, no one has to see that. But no one would know anyway. But okay, rewinding it back. I remember I first started jacking off in like 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I'd fuck the couch. By the way, unusually usual, this podcast, let me say this before we dive into this, because we're going to share some fucking stories today.
Yeah, we're going to share some stuff that's highly embarrassing.
The point of this is, listeners, you have your embarrassing shit and you know it, but you're too much of a pussy to share it. It is what it is. Own it. We all have shit. I don't give a fuck. It is what, I mean, I used to give a fuck, but I'm at a point now where I don't give a fuck.
No, I still kind of care a little. But
there are certain things
okay.
that are too, I can't share that yet. Maybe in 10 years, but it's just those. But what I can't share
is,
I
know those stories?
Yes, you do. You and a handful. I think everybody in this room, these people, they all know this stuff. But I tell them like, yo, you guys can't tell people this, because even I know it's a little beyond. But let me go back to fucking the couch. So what I do, my little routine. So it's only a few times.
Only a few times. Only a few. Goddamn.
I don't know why. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so what I do is, in between, I don't fuck the couch anymore. By the way, let me put that out there.
Thank God.
What I do is on the couch, right? I would put a sock in between the cushions.
Oh, jeez.
And then like it would be like a condom. So I'd put my dick in the sock and just go fucking ham. You know. Oh. All
right, if we got it. Okay.
Please, Vic.
I've never told anybody this either.
Vic, please.
Because it's very embarrassing. For today. But I remember I was at my dad's house one time.
You fuck dad?
I wish. He was asleep and I knew I could strike, but I let him rest. Like, he was very tired.
Oh, damn, Dad.
Looking kind of thick over there. He passed out drunk on our sofa. Looking kind of, can't even say no.
Dad'll never know.
I don't believe in rape, though. I don't believe in rape. But if your dad's drunk, sometimes, you know.
And you know, it is what it is.
So I wanted to jerk off. So I went to the refrigerator and I looked at the bagels. And I was like,
no,
I swear to God. And I looked and I was like, am I going to take this leap? Is this the day?
Fuck a bagel, dog?
I didn't do it.
Okay,
I didn't fuck the bagel. But I don't know. My fucking boy hormones.
How old are you?
I was probably like 15 because I stopped going to dad's at like 16.
Yeah. So
I was probably like 15, almost 16.
Like,
and I looked at that bagel and I was like, fuck, I'm horny. And then I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Like, is this
I had to
kosher?
step back. I had an out-of-body experience. And I was like, look back and I was like,
yeah, I remember.
I thought about it though for a cool 10 seconds. I was ready to do it.
I had a friend. I'm not going to say this friend's name, but they know who they are if they're listening.
He told me this story too.
You know where I'm going?
I didn't tell him my story because I was embarrassed.
Oh, you know where this is going.
I know where this is going.
I had a friend, and when we were teenagers in high school, not Camera Chris, I can say that though. I had a friend, and he told me that what he did was, and I thought even then I was like, what the fuck? I'm pretty open minded when it comes to this. But he was like, yo, like what I did was I put a banana peel in the microwave. And you warm it up, and then you put it on your dick, and you jack off into it. And I started laughing because I thought he was joking. Because you know, a lot of time you joke with your friends, you just like stupid, ridiculous out there shit.
And he just had that smile, huh? He's like,
no, he's like stone faced. No, like no, yeah, like no, really. And I was just like, and you know who it is? Don't say the name. I know who it is now. But that was pretty fucking out there. I've never fucked food. I don't think so.
Neither have I. That was close though.
Close though. But
I was walking the edge.
Or we're talking about things shooting out of our penises. Have you? And by the way, let's just say this: you came up with a really good phrase earlier today, which I think should be touched upon.
It's the new saying.
So, listeners, I'm no longer gonna say peruse erogenous zones, which means in Gabriel colloquialisms,
it
means have sex or sniff someone's butt. I think that I like to use that too.
Or eat Oreos out of her ass.
Eat Oreos out of her ass. Or
so
his
if you've been
ass.
listening to, you've heard Gabriel like say. He said erogenous zones. I think either Dana's episode or the last episode.
Yeah, or because you could say have sex with somebody, but that's kind of boring. Like, yeah, we had some sex, or you could say like, yeah, we perused each other's erogenous zones. It gives it more flavor. People don't put salt and pepper on their sentences. Listeners, put some salt and pepper on your sentences. You know what I'm saying? Make it interesting. But Victor put some salt and pepper on a sentence earlier. Excuse me. And he said, went to clown?
Down to clown.
Down to clown. And I fucking loved it. So, Vic, go ahead and break down to clown for the listeners, please.
You know, you're going to have sex with a woman. Sometimes you're like, oh, girl.
But you know what I'm saying? There's probably gay people listening. And
yeah,
this
okay.
And that.
For me, I was my person.
Oh, okay, for you.
You better have sex with your person, whoever, you know. Even if you're going to jerk off, you look at your little pee-pee.
Little pee-pee.
Be like, you down to clown? And they say yes, it's a go. If they say no, respect their personal boundaries.
Respect is very.
But if you say that phrase, they will not say no because it's so hot.
Have you ever been whack at down in the clowning?
Have I been what?
Whack.
Like, have I sucked at sex?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. There's been a lot of times where sometimes I can't get fully torqued.
Yeah.
You know, I was just you got like you're like half mast, but nobody died. Except my ego. Yeah, your ego kind of dies. But then, you know, if I get like a little 5 minutes to catch my breath, because, you know, I'm a little bigger. I'm a husky on the husky side. Also, I think it's like a self-confidence thing. Yeah, and I'm
still thinking about that fool. That's a polite way of saying it. Fool.
I'm thick with 2 C's. Yeah, top heavy. That's what I'm something. I'm a little top heavy. But you know, once I gather myself and my thoughts, I'm good to go. I'm good. You got a solid 10 minutes out of me.
Boom, boom.
Minimum. Maximum.
Do you think it's like the thoughts for you that prevent you, or is it physical?
It's my brain. Sometimes my brain is like, so what is it that that ADD thing where it's like you got like 1,000 tabs open?
Yeah, you're like,
I got like 100 tabs open all the time.
You and I sorry to interrupt, but I've never had like ED problems. Can I say that? I don't want to like fucking hurt your feelings, but I'll just say ED problems.
I mean, you couldn't get it up, dude. What are you gonna call it?
But you and I mean, as we've gotten older, I do realize like, yeah, we're pretty both like
neurotic almost
everywhere with thoughts sometimes. But sorry, yeah, back to you. I can relate to that.
Yeah, so I've been whack a bunch of times, but I've also gone above and beyond a bunch of times too.
Yeah. Let's call in now.
Anybody watching and listening, don't ever think that I got it.
Vic, you got a big penis though.
Yeah, it pays the bills.
I've seen Vic's penis.
I've seen Gabe's little tiny dinger. I've seen that little dinger.
A little boomer,
Gabriel has a habit of walking around the house in his boxers, which is cool. I don't give a fuck. But there's like a couple times where he's like sitting on like our love seat in the living room, but his like legs spread apart. And I'll like, hey Gabe, and I'll look over and then I just see his little tiny dinger and his little ballsies, his little bangers and mash just hanging out. And then I just kind of like look away, and then I call Gabe, but I just don't look that way.
But there's been times where you haven't seen it, and I catch it. I go, oh, good thing you didn't look. You would have saw the little monster.
For all you know, motherfucker, I already saw that little.
Yeah, like, oh, I don't want to say that.
That little monster, that little tiny monster.
I saw your dick pretty recently, like a year ago. That was the first time. You had a dad dick, dog. You had a dad dick. I mean, it's like a healthy. It's like a. You remember when you're young?
Kind of. I heard of a dad bod. I got a dad bod.
No, you got dad. I think Workaholics did that joke before. Dad dick.
No,
yeah,
I never
think
heard.
so.
I don't think I heard. Right? I don't remember it, at least.
Have you guys heard of dad dicks before?
We got 2 no's.
Maybe I'm making this up.
So explain it to the listeners, please.
Like, you know, when you're a little kid, I don't know, maybe it's a generation thing. I mean, you remember being at A's games, you might see your uncle take a piss, you might see your dad take a piss, or, you know, maybe your dad gets out the shower and you see like his dick, and then as a little kid, obviously it's bigger.
Are you comparing yourself to a little kid in this analogy?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say, when I saw your penis, I felt again as the little boy. And I said, that's a dad dick right there. That's very healthy. I mean, your penis is bigger than mine. You're a taller gentleman, so.
Yeah, I always. So this is the thing. Regardless.
I like how scientific that got.
Regardless
this is the thing.
Regardless of how big or lack thereof my penis is, I always feel weird bragging about it because I did nothing, absolutely nothing. Yeah. So like if dudes brag about their dick, it's like, but you didn't earn it. Like there's nothing special about that.
You didn't put in
like
work
if you work out and you're
it.
like, look at my 6-pack. I'm like, yo, show that shit off. You earned it. If you fucking read a bunch of books and you know the word fucking anti-disestablishmentarianism, show that shit off. But if you're like, I got big dick, it's like, okay, and like I'm fucking 6'1". Doesn't matter.
Do you send your big dick and do you text it?
I have. Before, yes. But I mean,
little nasty
I think
boy.
every guy sent dick pics. Every guy, there's people who are like, I never sent a dick pic. If your girl sends you a picture of her boobs or her hoo-ha, and she's like, let me see what you packing, motherfucker, sending a dick pic.
I don't know if other dudes feel like this, but I feel like as a guy, really, that's all I have to send. Like, you know, I'm like not gonna send like, I don't know.
Yeah, what are you gonna send? Like your cleavage? Like, all right, girl, look at this midriff.
Girls, I don't know. Like a woman's body is beautiful. She can send like her curves,
She got curvatures.
her little hip, her little booty, her little boobies. I don't know, even a pretty face, a little shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
As a dude, it's like
You either send her your little caterpillar dick, or you send her a selfie where you look like a fucking creep because you're just smiling like, hey, oh, I'm thinking about you.
yeah, I don't know, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna send my dick out because dicks aren't pretty. So I'll send it in my boxers. You know what I'm saying?
Is it implied? Is it implied? Like, do you give yourself like a half chub and take the photo?
Oh hell yeah! I make it look like it's not. Like
I don't have to, but yeah, I do.
No, I totally chub it up a bit. Make sure it's not fully hard.
You gotta have,
Like, get a chub where it's
you gotta ham it up a little
and
bit.
I'm like, hey, this is natural. I'm put
like,
my hat on it
girl?
or whatever.
Yeah,
it's
you
so
do that
fake.
thing,
I'm
you
so
play
full
coy.
of shit.
We're like, oh, I didn't even mean. I was just trying to show you my room. I was just, look at all this stuff I got on the bed.
Hey, look at this. Oh shit, my dick, my bad. Nah, dude, yeah, I'm full of shit. Yeah, I mean, that happens. But Vic, you
I've
shared.
also been down to clown.
Oh, sorry, that fucked me up. I think that shit's hella funny down the cloud. That's
pretty,
original. It's very original.
Yeah.
You shared your ED stories. I mean, I could share like some like pre-coming stories.
I don't have too many pre.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
To me, anything under 5 minutes is premature. So I have
foreplay?
Do I have 10
Is that
minutes
including
stories?
foreplay or no foreplay?
No, I'm talking about penetration.
Oh, okay.
If it's like at least 5 minutes, I don't consider it premature.
Okay, well I still lose in that category.
I got a couple 5 to 10 minuters where I'm just like, you know,
yeah.
I give them a fair warning though. You gotta look them in the face and be like, yo, shit's about to go down, so either with it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some. I think on some level, all dudes have performed. Or just came early. Like every dude, you're not a human walking this earth if you're not a guy and you never fucking came early.
And if you have, I want to see it.
show us right now.
Yeah, show me your dick.
Show me
and
that
tell me you
dick.
did it.
But I think even on top of that, I got some fucking pretty embarrassing stories about coming too early.
And you fuck the couch. It doesn't get any lower than that. So please, you know, feel free to share.
I remember this story is fucking embarrassing. Listeners, get your headphones on tighter and get ready for it.
Don't play this out loud.
Oh yeah, what is it? Not safe for work.
Yeah, NSFW.
Should have started out with
BBW. Fucking BBC. I know all the acronyms.
But I remember this is the second person I ever had sex with. And so I was already pretty eager because I'm like, oh my God, I'm got to have sex with somebody again. Because because I never thought, I don't know, I had like little barriers in my brain.
We could get into that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, okay, yeah. Please.
I was gonna just compound on what you were saying.
For some reason I had barriers in my head, and I thought like, I don't know, I only have sex with one person. Not because I thought like, this is destiny. This person and I love each other. It was more so like, I just never get to be able to do this again. Like winning the lottery. Maybe someone felt like they won the lottery and you go, this is never going to happen again. But
my thing was, I thought I was going to be a virgin until I was like 24.
Really?
Like I told myself like, yo, I'm never going to have sex.
That's crazy to think. Cause I mean, honestly, you're a handsome dude. You're tall. You know, you're rugged, dark skin, intelligent.
I have beautiful
got dad
flowing
dick.
hair. I got a dad dick. I really I guess, and it's funny because like, you know, every guy's measured their dick with a ruler. And if your dude says he hasn't, he's fucking lying.
Yeah, he's measured it with something.
Chris?
Camera
measured
Chris.
it? With Chris says yes.
Yeah.
Jess, you measured your dick with a ruler? Jess says yes.
Yeah,
he measured it on the inside.
He used like a Post-it note to see how long it was.
Oh, yeah. I use one of those mini sticky notes. I like to feel bigger. What was I saying?
You were saying...
Oh, I thought I was going to be a virgin. So when I had sex, I was 17 and a half, almost graduating.
Yeah.
I was 17 and 3/4. I blew my own mind because I was like, honest to God, I didn't think it was going to happen at this age.
Yeah, so I was a person was over at the time. I don't remember how old I was. 20, maybe 19, 20. And this person was over, and the person and I were making out for, God, maybe like an hour or two. Like fucking just making out. And like, yeah, I must have fingered her for like 20 minutes. I remember my shoulder hurt.
He cramped up. He's like, I gotta switch arms.
Change the angle on the hand, use the other hand.
Hey, let me go like this, girl. Let me go.
And I guess it was like a level of, I didn't know what I was doing, and also being, I think, shy on some level too. And then, I think her and I rolled to the floor, and again, we made out literally like for like an hour and fingered for like 20 minutes. We roll on the floor, and then I think we start making out some more there.
It sounds like not to be rude,
ahead,
but the idea of like a girl's pornography. No, like this is how a woman's pornography would go. Like, make out for an hour, I finger her for 20, make out a little more.
I can't take
guy
no more.
porn is like, yeah, I want to see her spitting out his dick and then re-swallow it. Oh, on net. Actually, I watched one like that.
I will say,
and it grossed me out because it was just so intense.
Oh man, yeah, I'm not.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were rolling around.
Oh, I'm sorry, but no, like kind of tying into your female erotic novel. Mm-hmm. By the way, do you want to finish that?
Nah,
drink?
dude, I'm saving it for you.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart, Technician Vic.
Don't tell anybody.
The porch lights and the street lights are on.
Oh,
and we're in the living room, right? Because my mom was gone and Vic was gone too.
Where was I at?
You went to Disneyland.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Where was mom at?
She went to Disneyland with you because you went with.
That was the time I went. Yeah. I forgot all about that.
So I had the place to myself for a couple of days. It was good.
Bad motherfucker.
Hey,
right
what's
here,
up? But the lights were on outside, and we're in the living room, and we got some blinds right here. So imagine those blinds, but the living room. Well, we're in the living room. So the light was coming in.
It's coalescing.
This is my little artistic brain, right? And the blinds are like curving over her body, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? And it was like, whoa, this is like something out of like Sin City.
Was it
very Noorish?
It was whatchamacallit, right? It had to be on
what happened?
164th.
Yeah, no, this was on Bachman.
Already?
Bachman. Yeah, so yeah, Bachman early on.
Okay.
Because we were there for a while.
Yeah.
But anyway, banking on the floor, made out back on the couch. I'm already over explaining this, but I just got to really drive that point across because it was like in my brain. I was like, oh, I like kissing, but okay.
Kissing's cool. What's the next step?
And then I don't know. She had said something insinuating like, put your fucking dick in me already. And then I said something probably fucking corny, and then took her pants off.
You probably said something like, "You ready for this dick, girl?" That sounds like something gay would say. You ain't ready for all this.
Little
I had to make you wait 2 hours, girl. You ain't ready for this. I need to make sure you were wet.
She's probably like fucking dry
monster,
at that point.
Girl.
You gotta be really moist for this.
You better watch out. I need to slide right in. This thing's huge. And she's just like, oh,
okay,
yeah.
I guess.
Okay.
But so I fucking take her pants off. My pants are off. I put my dick in her, and I must have did like 3 pumps, dude. 4 pumps, and just fucking. I'm like, oh my god! But I was like, oh. And, which is funny because I mean, like with my first girlfriend, we had sex, but I mean, there's times I was whack. I was young, but never that whack. Jeez Louise. So I remember getting the feeling, that you're like, I was like,
get the shakes.
Gotta pull my dick out, which was already like, because I'm like only been there for probably less than a minute, and I pull my dick out, and I just remember like thinking like, I don't know this person well enough. Plus, I'm young. I'm like, I'm not gonna just shoot on them. So I'm like, I can't shoot. My mom's away. I can't shoot on the couch. Like, what I'm saying? So I just like fucking go in my hand and fucking come in my hand.
You're like the Terminator. You're like, kids, not couch, not girl.
And then so I shoot in my hand.
100%.
I shoot in my hand, and then bless her heart, she was so sweet. She was just like,
she just pat you on the back.
Good job,
happens,
champ.
man. Happens.
And then she's just like, is everything okay? Do you need anything? I think that's what she said. And I was like, just a bathroom. And I got up and went to go clean up.
Did you just be all like, next time, be like, that pussy was fired, girl. That's why.
No, to be honest,
she'd be like, yo.
So I talked about it with friends, like circles of friends. We knew each other. She denied it. She denied that we ever had sex. Yeah. So shout out to Gabe.
That's even worse. damn. I'd be like, no, I came early. No, it happened.
I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, Vic, you got your ED? You got any pre-coming stories?
There was one time I was getting hot and heavy in the back of my car. I've also never told anybody this. I'm very secretive.
A little secret monster.
I don't like telling nobody nothing.
Nothing like putting it on a podcast.
So, 200 people, here you go. So I was making out.
I don't know why that fucking made me. I'm so sorry. I spit on you a little bit.
Well, I don't give a shit.
I don't know why that made me laugh. 200 people. Here we go.
So I was
200 people.
Getting pretty torqued and making out, and I was like really torqued, and
I super torqued.
Pulled it out, and even before I got to the hoo-ha,
wow!
I was like, oh my God. I said, this never happens. And it has never happened. So that was the worst part, was that she was probably like, I was like, no, this doesn't happen. Oh man. I was like,
Did it feel good though?
No, it was embarrassing. Like pants were sticky.
But I mean, those orgasms, I'm sure, like, they're so intense. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it though. Like, you could be inside a vagina, and I'm not advocating for pre-coming, but I'm just saying, you could be inside of a vagina hitting it, and that feels good in your orgasm.
Or you can come.
But in your brain, you're so excited and triggered, you're coming before you even start. I mean, that's pretty intense.
Yeah. It's also intensely embarrassing. So I don't know. I think I'll take the vagina sex.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That was probably the most embarrassing moment of my life.
Victor knows this one. This one I did. So I'm a pretty open guy. This story I saved for years and didn't tell Vic. I think everyone else in the room knows this story too. I went over someone's house before work, and then we were like messing around, like messing around and stuff, like for a while. So I went over her house beforehand, and we were like making out, and then for some reason I'm just like, oh shit, I gotta fucking come from making out. Yeah, and I fucking remember shoot her in my pants, like, for making out, and then we had to go to work. We had to go to work, and I must have fucking came in my pants like a few minutes before I had to get up and leave. And then I forgot how I played it off. I just remember, come in and get it tight. And then I'm just like, we should probably go to work. Just like we should probably get up. Like,
hey, you want to garble or something? Hey, you wouldn't have any guy boxers on you, would you? Hey, can you get some underwear for your dad's room?
I just got up. I'm so red right now. I'm so fuck.
Did she know you did that?
Nope. And I got up, went to the bathroom, just like looked down, and I was just like, fuck me, like cleaned it up and then went to work,
That's pretty classic.
Carpool?
You knocked it out. You carpool?
Played it off.
Oh, does it smell like bleach in here? You're like, nah.
It smells like chlorine.
Nah, it's not even like that.
But
I did want to drive the point home real quick.
Please.
This isn't to talk about our sexual exploits or lack thereof. I think this is just me and Gabriel just trying to let people know, like, just be open, just be honest. I mean, we all got embarrassing stories, so if you hear our stories and you're like, those guys are fucking losers.
And on top of it, even if we are, who fucking gives a shit?
I think, and that's what I was just trying to say. It was like, I feel like me and you talk about a lot of dumb shit. Mm-hmm. And it's dumb shit, but it's like, it has a point. It's just like,
yeah, it does.
You shouldn't care what other people think. At some point, it doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't matter. Like,
my hair.
Yeah, like, you remember being younger and how much being a virgin was like, oh, I'm a virgin, and people like being weird about it, or people like, men and women like going to parties because they're like shy and they want to fuck somebody, like lose that, and it's like, it's such a big thing. And then you get older and you go, who fucking cares? Like, if you had that mentality back then, there's a lot of that, I think, where it's like, again, fucking cum in your pants, it's embarrassing. It does suck for both party members, especially like,
unless she doesn't know, then it don't suck for her so much.
But at the same time too, as much that I admit I've done my whack shit when it comes to sex. I've been with a lot of chicks too that have been like done fucking weird whack shit that I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
So, but I'm not gonna like shit on them. I can
That's true.
Just talk about my own shit.
I just thought about. I haven't really.
You want to share some of that? Should we do? Do you have any stories?
Like dead fish stories? Like she just lays there like a dead fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody got stories. Every guy should have a story, at least one or two.
I remember I was
excuse me,
making out with a chick. The worst. You know, it's a trope for men to be bad kissers.
Oh man, yes.
Yeah, have you been with like women that are bad kissers?
Chick who did not like I almost felt like she was trying to resuscitate me, like CPR. It was like a lot of like open, and you're just like what the fuck do I do with this? And she just be like, and at some point in the back of my head, I was like, this fucking sucks. Like I don't want to do this anymore.
Or like, excuse me. Or like, I remember thinking like, wait, I thought, well, like, what is this? Like,
I thought it was a joke.
Yeah, wait, like I thought dudes are supposed to be the bad kissers, and then you go, oh wait, no, this person just doesn't know how to kiss. They don't know what they're doing, because it is like a dance. It's like a little rhythm. Mm-hmm. But the way I described this person, it was like a robot, and the robot was malfunctioning. You know
that's a very specific. Yeah, and
I'm sure people that have been with bad kissers could understand that.
There's been times where like I was having sex and like
you pooped yourself.
No, not yet. That's on my list of things to do.
Yeah, shout out to Highbrow Comedy on this podcast.
Fucking Dana's probably dying right now.
Yeah, shout out to Dana.
But I remember I was having sex, and she had told me to come through, and so I went through, and I was there, and like 4 minutes in, I remember looking down, and I was like, I won't be here anymore.
What am I doing?
And I was like, what the fuck, man? And I remember I had read one thing where it's like, you ever spit on a girl's back until you came just to end it early? And I didn't do it. But everything in me was like, just do that so you could go. Like, just do it, please, Victor. And I was like, I'm a man of my word. So like 1 minute later, I was like, and I was like, okay, I gotta go. I got fucking
good night.
It was bad. But yeah, that's probably that time was. It's just like, how do you? Sex is cool. You know what I mean? Like, how do you be bad at sex? Like, as a girl, no offense. I mean, just gotta set the mood. Make sure that hoo-ha is popping off.
I do think there is more pressure on men than women for sex. There
is. And I'm saying that to the camera.
Would you agree, female in the audience? Oh, she's saying nah.
Okay. This is. I will give women this. I think men. I've seen like memes where it's like, girl, I want your underwear to match your bra, and then the dude's got a hole in his boxers. like dudes, like there's less pressure.
Okay.
Physically.
Oh, you just broke a wall in my brain. That's so true.
There's less pressure physically. I've thought about this because a woman, you want her to walk in, you want her to look sexy, you want her to smell good, you want, shaved.
If I could come in, it's like I think there's more. Because grow up.
Yeah, he said come. He said if I could come in.
There's more prep for women. I think there's more prep for women.
Yeah, they got to shave their hoo-has.
They got to shave their hoo-has. They got to put the perfume on. They got to look right. They got to feel right. Because I mean, if I'm sure we all been with chicks. Like if they don't, I don't feel sexy. It's gonna cause a big thing. They have to feel good. You have to make them feel sexy.
Yeah.
And but okay, so like leading up, women have weight. But dudes in the act, I think, have more pressure.
You have 100 times more pressure because we know you can go tell your girl the next day, be like, he had a small dick, or he came earlier. You know that motherfucker. He couldn't. Or
it's so bad you don't tell people.
Or you tell them that it never happened. Yeah. That could happen too. This never happened to me though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it probably
big dad dick big. I never shared how I saw your dick. By the way.
How did you see my dick? Did we talk about it?
No, real quick. Sorry, because I just remember right now I didn't say that. Yeah. You were in the shower last year.
Oh, when you
left the door open, and I could see it through the crack. And I was like, "Hey, Vic, I see your dick right now." Yeah.
And then you tried to call Jess over.
Yeah, and I called Jess over.
We're in Alameda.
And Jess was like, "Oh," I was like, "Jess, look, come here. You can see Vic's dick." And then she came over, and then we saw Vic's dick, and then we laughed.
Oh, that's not how that story's supposed to end. You got a big dick, Vic, and then we laughed.
Sorry, Vic.
But
you saw your little floppy flounder.
You know how some girl got orangutan titties? I got an orangutan dick. Motherfucker just be flapping. You don't be doing nothing. Just be flapping, boy.
What were we just talking about?
That's all show. It's all skin. Very little of that is penis.
It was
dudes have more pressure to perform.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because
it's a girl. You could just lay there as long as you do like one yoga move. You grab one arm with your legs. Guys would be like, "Oh my god, she's a freak!" Like, "Oh my, you saw what she did? She fucking grabbed her legs. She's flexible."
Because I think as a dude too, and it would just kind of get like I guess you could say it's kind of sexist or stereotypical or I don't know, gender-ish or I don't know. But I think it is up to the dude to kind of like lead, and it's up to the dude to like do the more of the performing in a way. And then you know,
R&B songs don't help. Fucking Trey Songz talking about, I want to have sex for an hour. I want the neighbors to know my name. I don't think none of my neighbors know my name. They know that sometimes I have sex on like Saturdays and Thursdays and
it's been 3 months.
Victor's that one time a week.
It's almost time.
I'm sure he smiles and lights a candle or something or puts $1 in a jar.
I just had a thought that came to my head right now, Vic, and this is about earlier you mentioned you got to keep some things to himself.
Don't do this.
No, it's not too crazy. This is the share the story, please. Were you trying to get out of when you got in the car accident?
All right, so if you're from the Hayward Police Department, just stop listening now,
please.
So we switched topics up, but
unless you want to keep talking about that, anything?
No, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. So don't text and drive, but I was driving and texting. I was picking up my friend. I say his name?
Yeah.
Oh, so I was picking up my friend Charles for work, and I was making a left turn onto his street. I used my left knee to turn, and I looked down at my phone and I was texting him, "Hey, I'm in front of your house."
Shout out to you and your fucking knee, dude. Because I remember even leading up to that, you're so proud of driving with your legs all the time.
I still do that.
He would share like, "Oh yeah, dude, I was on the freeway. I was fucking like switched lanes with my fucking knee."
I still do that.
What the
fuck? Yeah, I still do. I'm pretty good at it.
All right,
no car.
Be safe.
The
dude.
other car accident guy was bullshit too, but this time, so I fucking looking down at my phone and I didn't adjust.
I was laughing about you fucking turning lanes with your knees.
Fuck.
I'm listening. Go on, continue.
So I'm turning. I didn't adjust my speed.
I want to lay down.
I tried. No, don't lay down, Gabriel, because he has to redo the cameras.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So I turn onto his street.
Okay, I'm gonna lay down a little bit. I'm listening, Vic.
I drive onto the curb. I'm still going 25 miles per hour. I run into like a street lamp. I hit the fucking street lamp. The fucking street lamp. I watch it, and this is how I describe it to people because this is exactly what it felt like. I watched it in slow, like time slowed down, and I watched it fall into my front like a.
Did you flinch?
No.
Why not?
Because I was just in shock that this was all happening to me.
Like froze? He froze?
Yeah, I was like, and it fucking fell, and the fucking street lamp busted through the windshield, and I was like,
did glass come in?
And I said, and Charles was on the street, and he's like, what the fuck? And I was like, I don't know. And he got in the car, and I tried to drive away because I didn't want to be in trouble for knocking down a pole. And then some cops.
Fucking big.
I was on the side of the road trying to change my tires as fast as possible to get the fuck out of there. And some cops.
Because your tires were busted, right?
I popped one of my tires. I think it was 2, but one of them was just like low. One of them was completely flat, and I was going to put the spare on.
Okay.
Just so I get the fuck out of there. Because I wasn't going to go down.
No, thank you.
So cops came over. They're giving me the 3rd degree. How come you're leaving the scene? You're supposed to call the police department, this and that, that and this. Gave me a ticket for reckless driving.
Fucking little reckless driver.
But that was it. That was it for the ticket. I took the driving test. That was chill. I had to retake the written test, half of the written test, and I had to.
I'm sorry. Did you share when you called?
And I called who?
George?
Oh, I called my buddy George. Yeah, So I have a friend, he buys and sells cars, but on top of that, he's also super quick on his feet. And he was giving me some tips, like do this, do that, do this. As soon as he got out of work, he came and picked us up. He's clutch. He's a good friend. He came and picked me up, was like, what happened? Let me know, like, how can we figure this out? I'm going to tell you, I know a guy who changed the windshield. I'll give you his number right now. He's going to come do it. It's just super clutch. And just like, it's nice to have people like that in your corner.
Yeah, shout out to George.
So we got to work late, and I had to talk to my supervisor, and everybody thought Charles was in the car accident. So everybody was like, Charles, are you okay? I heard what happened. And I had like hella cuts on my hands from like climbing on the floor and trying to like figure all this shit out. And my pants were all dirty, and I just kept looking at Charles like, you motherfucker.
Fucking Charles.
And then I took the test. I passed the test. Nothing really happened. And then I went to pick up Charles one day, and there's a sign that says go less than 25 miles per hour on the street. And I call that Victor Rocha's sign.
Yo, that's your history right there.
Yeah, because without me.
Do you remember the streets? Maybe someone could drive by and reflect
it's
on
off
your memory.
Clawwitter. I forgot. It's where these
over by Toys R Us.
It's by Toys R Us. It's down Winton. By Clawwitter. There's like a bunch of if you see like these really nice little street lamps and you see a like a 10 mile per hour speed limit sign, that's because I hit that fucking pole and knocked it over.
That's history right here. We got history in the building.
Fuck, man. Oh, God.
I got a story with Charles too. This was a drunk driving story, but I don't condone drunk driving. This is the last time I ever drove drunk. I drove buzzed. That's different. Mm-hmm. And I will say, again, like I don't know. I like to believe I'm a pretty big, different person. Still the same, but different. I want to do that shit again. But okay, so I was with Charles. I met Charles through Vic. Hopefully, Charles is on like season 3. Charles is a vastly interesting person. Visit, yeah. But took Charles. He's a year younger than me. At the time, I was 21. He was 20. We went to Dave & Buster's for like a coworker thing. Cameron, Chris, were you at Dave & Buster's that night? Probably. I don't know. And then Dave & Buster's, for listeners that were young and had the ratchet phase, you probably already know this, but Dave & Buster's, like, once it hits like 9 p.m., they start carding. If you're not 21, you can't come in. But if you come in before 9 and you look kind of old, you know, they're not going to card you like once you're already in there at the bar and stuff, you know? So we got Charles in before 9. He just stayed with us the whole night. So we had drinks and stuff. Fast forward to the evening. We're getting ready to like leave. I'm a little drunk. That's my way of diffusing the tension right there.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
I'm a little drunk. And I remember Charles asking people like to drive me and shit. And of course, I do the kid shit where I'm like, I'm fucking good, dude. I don't need it, right?
I still do that, yeah.
No, you don't.
That ain't no kid shit, dude. That means you're a man and you're about your business.
I'm a fucking man. And then so we get out of the parking lot, right? And we start driving. And I used to drive a Buick at the time. So if you drive a Buick, you're gonna get fucking pulled over.
Yeah, you're gonna get pulled over.
Which I should have known. But so I'm like leaving.
But you had a
it was like a gold Buick.
You had a Buick LeSabre.
Yeah.
You had like a scraper.
Yeah, like it was like an old lady car or like a hood car.
Had a scraper.
And so I'm leaving the parking lot. Sure enough, in my rear view, I see the police is coming. They don't have their lights on yet, but I'm like, fuck. So I like start driving extra double good. And then like I pull out, start going onto like the main street, and then whoop, 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 lights turn on. And then the first thing I thought of was mom.
She gonna have your ass?
Yeah, our mom's crazy. And it's just like, fuck, my mom's gonna kill me. And I'm like 21, which is like, you shouldn't be afraid of your mom at that age. But
our mom's.
Yeah, she's like she's like the UFC of moms.
Yeah, she's pretty top tier.
So I was just like, fuck. And then I remember right after that, I thought, you remember the Eminem song? You get like one opportunity, one shot.
I only got one shot.
I was like, I'm gonna Denzel Washington the shit out of this, right? So we pull over, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, like you went through that stop sign past back there," which I don't think I did. I was in a Buick and I was leaving Dave & Buster's and I looked young. So
he said, "I don't think I did."
And he's like, "Okay, like, what you guys been up to?" And I'm like, "Oh." At first he asked for our IDs. And I give him the IDs, and he's kind of holding them. But before he kind of checks them, he's like, "So what have you guys been up to?" I'm like, "Oh, like we went, played some games, just had some fun. Some coworkers were there." And in my head, because I know I'm on Denzel Washington mode,
yeah,
I'm like, I gotta talk this guy.
He's the equalizer.
Is that the Denzel Washington? He's also in Fences. I've been watching Fences for school. Have you seen that? No. Have you guys seen that? Fences? It's really good.
Is that the one with the wife?
It takes place in like the 50s or 40s.
He's the dad. He's like, I got all these jobs. I got this job.
Yeah, Viola Davis is in there. I think that's her name.
That's his wife, right?
Yeah, really good. Top tier acting. But anyway, back on Denzel Washington. I'm like talking him up. I'm like, oh yeah, like they have Mario Kart. Have you played Mario Kart? Oh man. He was like a nice guy, and he's like, oh no, like I didn't know that. Blah blah. I'm like, yeah, you gotta play it. It's fun. We were playing it. Blah blah blah. I'm just like.
Gassing him up,
asking him questions and talking to him and like trying to get like personable, but like make it seem like I'm sober. And then, he looks at Charles's license and he's like, your friend's not 21. And I go, yeah, I'm sorry, officer. I know we came in before 9, and I'm not gonna lie, we did have some drinks. And he's like, okay. It's like, how about you get out the car?
Oh shit.
And then another police car pulls up, and then I'm like, okay. And he's like, all right, come over here. And then we go on the sidewalk, and he pulls out like a flashlight, and he says, this is what I want you to do. I want you to follow the light. That's all you got to do. And I'm like, okay. So he pulls it out, and he's like going like left or right. Viewers at home, you can't see my arm right now, but it's going left to right. Camera, left to right, right? And he's going like this for a while, and then he stops. And I think he thought my eyes were going to keep going left and right, but they didn't. They stopped when he stopped because I'm supposed to follow the flashlight. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then so he goes, all right, you're sober.
For real?
Yeah.
That was his test?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was like, yes, I am.
You're like, fucking.
And then, la. When they go sit back down in the car, right? And then there's so much tension in the car because, you know, Charles. Our friend Charles has such a good heart.
He's very high strung.
Yeah, he's high strung, but he has a good heart.
We got into an argument when he got super mad that one time about Pokemon. You remember we were in the living room? And he was like genuinely stopped talking to us in our own living room.
Yeah, Charles.
But that's just very like high strung.
So there's so much tension when I sit back down in the car. And I could just tell Charles is pissed because, you know better. Even at that age, I knew better. Like, we shouldn't be doing this dumb shit. And he just says, like, dude, all the good karma you had, you just used it right now. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, Charles, where's my ID? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, I think the police officer has it. So I get out of my car, walk back to his vehicle, knock on the window, and I'm like, do you have my ID? And he goes, no. I go, okay. And I walk back to my car and sit down, and my ID was on the side of me, on the on the driver's side. And then we drove home, and I was like, okay, I vow never to drive home drunk again. I've learned my lesson. I think God's eyes are watching over me.
I got one story involves.
Is this the crazy one you said you never told me or something?
No.
Are you
I was just going to tell a cop story.
Oh, please.
So I've always had like American cars. I had a Nissan Sentra.
America.
Then I had my Impala. Then I had bought a Hyundai Sonata.
That's not American.
No, it's not. It's Korean, I think. It's Korean, Chris?
Camera Chris.
Chris is the only Asian person.
He's your technician, Vic.
Yeah, this is my technician, Vic. That's my camera Chris. Hyundai Sonata, Hyundai like Sunday. Anybody? Nothing. All right.
I don't know shit about no cars.
I think it's Korean. Thanks, Chris. Thank you. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you.
So, if you know San Leandro, you guys know where Marina Square is, by Burrell Field. So I was like, you know what? It's like 10:30 at night. I had just left my girlfriend's house. I'm like, you know what? This kitty needs to purr. So I fucking...
That was beautiful. I love that.
Korean? South Korean. Damn good. So I'm smashing on the fucking street. I'm going probably 90, 95 miles per hour.
Beep, beep.
On the street. I fucking book it through a green light. I'm coming around that corner. You guys remember where you looked at those couches? There's like that side street by the Davis Shelter. It's kind of by it's like that side street that turns.
San Leandro, not too far from here, right?
Yeah, you know, there's Marina Square, then Burrell Field, and there's that street. That street's kind of like an off street. There's nothing really on that.
By Dick's?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm smashing about 90, and I'm like in my head, fucking be funny if a cop pulled me over. But it's hella late, and it's like 11 o'clock at night. There's nobody ever out. And of course, I fucking dreamed it into existence because coming out of a driveway, I heard
dreamed it into existence.
I'm like, fucking bitch. So I get pulled over. They walk over, and they're like, you're driving kind of fast. And I was like, yeah.
No shit.
Said, yeah. He's like, you had an argument with your girlfriend? I said, nah. You drinking? I said, no. So why are you driving fast for? I said, I'll be honest with you. I just wanted to drive fast. I was like, there's no reason for it. He said, okay.
I want to go fast.
He said, okay. And then I had a Darth Vader mask. And at the time, I had a margarita shaker in the back seat. And he's like, so you got a Star Wars thing back here and a margarita shaker. Where are you coming from? And I was like, I think he thought I was at a Star Wars orgy or something. Because
I love it.
The implication was just hella weird why would you connect those two? So then he's like, all right, get out of the car. I had cargo shorts on with no belt. So I have to like spread my legs hella far so my shorts don't fall.
Was this like the era of baggy clothes?
No, this was probably like 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Okay.
So I was just like, I had just went by her house So I was just like, I'm not going to do nothing. Like, I'm just chilling. I had some shorts on. So he's like, you got anything in your pockets I should know about? I said, no. And I was like, fuck. She had given me chocolate-filled the liquor to give mom. And I said, this is going to sound funny, but I have chocolate liquors in my pocket. And he said, and you haven't been drinking? I said, no, I haven't. He said, okay. I took them out of my pocket and I was like, fuck me, man. So they fucking do the test. Can you follow this? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I passed it because at the time I didn't drink, and I don't drink super often. So I got in my car and he said, okay, we're gonna breathalyzer test you now. And that was the difference when Gabriel has told stories. Like, they didn't give me an option. He just told me they were gonna do it. I looked this cop in his face and I said, if you do this breathalyzer, you're going to waste your time. And he's like, okay, we'll see. And he went and grabbed it.
We'll see.
I blew into it. He fucking 5 minutes later, he walks back and he's like, so you haven't been drinking? And I said, yes, I know. And he was like, how fast do you think you were going? And I said, looked him in his eye. I said, I think I was going about 50. And he said, yeah, 50 sounds about right.
Oh!
And he wrote my ticket he gave me, and I said, so I know
that's a turn.
The rule is they have to clock you at a speed to give you a speeding ticket. Otherwise, it's their word against yours.
Oh.
He thought I was drunk. He didn't fucking check how fast I was going. They thought I was fucking drunk, so they thought they were going to hit me with a DUI. They never fucking took the speed. But I looked at it as like, I got out of this ticket because I should have got a way worse ticket because I was fucking reckless driving and shit. And it wasn't really reckless. I know these streets. I've lived here my whole life. So I was like, I'm going to pay a speeding ticket as to pay my debt back because I shouldn't have been fucking around, but I'm also not going to give myself the full ticket because I got out of this myself. I did it on my own. And so he said, 50 sounds about right. Fucking handed me the ticket.
Yeah.
Because if I would have said, I don't remember how fast did you guys clock me at, he wouldn't have had he had no legs to stand on. But I gave myself a speeding ticket.
That's actually kind of smart. I'm going to remember that next time they ask me.
That's why they ask you, how fast were you going?
Yo, I remember mom, she got into, what time are we at?
We're at 50 minutes.
Okay. Mom, she got into, she was on the freeway and a deer had came out and she hit the deer.
She hit the shit out of it.
Yeah, her car got fucked up. And then the people came out. They asked her, like, the cops came and they're like, so was the deer standing or running? And then she was like, oh, I think it was standing. And they're like, was it standing or running? Because if it was standing, insurance might not cover it. And she was like, oh, I think it was running. And they said, okay, we'll write that down.
Oh, that's kind of clutch. There's some cool cops. I've been pulled over one time. I mean, I've had some bad interactions, but I got pulled over one time. I was going like 75, 80. It was a Tuesday night. Comic books came out on Wednesday. So I was like, I'm going to go to a midnight release of the comic books. I ain't got shit else to do. Cop pulled me over. He's like, why are you going so fast? I was like, I'll be honest with you. There's nobody on the freeway. I'm driving out the free one. I'm just chilling. He's like, all right, well, just, slow down a little bit for me. And I was like, all right, cool. And that was it. But I wasn't going hella fast. He could have gave me a ticket.
With police too. I've had my good encounters. I've had my bad encounters. I'm trying to think of like good encounters. I remember one time. Which one?
When you're gonna have sex?
Yeah. Those are cool. With my first girlfriend, and we were making out kind of like by Alameda, kind of like by the water, like in between like San Leandro and
like Martin
Alameda.
Luther King shoreline or whatever.
Yeah, I think there's like a hotel over there. I think kind of by Raiders training camp.
Yeah.
Like that direction. Anyway, we were making out, and next thing I know is knock on the window and look up, and it's like fucking police officers, and then we have to get out and they check our cards, and they're like, "What are you doing?" But they were really cool about it, and nothing like bad happened. I think I was like 16, 17 at the time or something like that. But that's cool. I've definitely had my bad examples.
And he also told you where to go.
Did he?
Yeah.
What did he say? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember where, but he told you like a spot. He's like, a lot of, like, we don't usually patrol this area.
Oh.
He gave him, so I remember Gabriel was hella juice when he came home. He's like, he even told me where to go.
Yeah, I mean,
that's cool.
There's a few of them. Yeah, they're being like human. Sometimes they're like dicks. I remember one time, here's a dick example. So driving to work, right, in my car, I used to have, I think it was dad gave me this car. It's like the green. The
Nissan Altima.
I'm driving, right? And it's like stop and go traffic. And it's on what's by the Coliseum? That's the 880?
Yeah.
880. And it's like stop and go. And this person in front of me, I thought it was going, I think it was. I'm in the fastest lane. I thought it was going, but she like hits her brakes hard. So then I hit my brakes hard and I smash into her and like airbags deploy. And I just remember like the same feeling when like the lamp fell. It was like everything was really slow but fast at the same time. And there's like no thoughts processing. It's just all visual. You're just like, fuck. And there's like a bunch of dust in the air and the airbag came out and shit. And then I'm just like sitting there like, what the fuck do I do? And I remember people were like driving by because there's kind of traffic. And people were very mean and kind of hurt my feelings. People were like, get the fuck out the road. And like yelling shit like that. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I just got in this wreck. Like people are like literally yelling and honking their horns and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, damn, I didn't cause this fucking traffic. Anyway, so
fuck out of the road.
Yeah, I clearly remember that. It was like a person in the truck that yelled, get the fuck out the road. And like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? Man. It hurt my feelings. And then so we pull over, me and this chick, and then the police come. At the time, I was like, thank God to help like write the report. But so the first thing the police officer says is like, you know, your windows are tinted. And in my head, I'm like, the car is pretty fucked up. It was like $4,000 in damages, right? Damn. I didn't know that at the time, but I got praised a few times. That's the word. Appraised. Yeah. I got appraised. And
shout out to Jason who said it's cute watching Gabriel build his vocabulary one episode at a time.
Shout out to Jason. And I got it appraised later on. It was for like $4,000 in damages. So the police officer, the first thing he says, are you okay? What's going on? He says, you know your windows are too tinted, right? And I go, I think I was a little sassy. And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah. And then he just walks away. And then he comes back and he's like, okay, I need you to like fill out this stuff or whatever because of the record. Or he was filling something out. I don't exactly remember. And then fast forward 3 months later, I get a ticket in the mail for having tinted windows. So this motherfucker gave me a ticket in the fucking wreck. I'm like, what a fucking asshole. And he didn't even tell me I was getting a ticket. Literally. That's like the most fucking dickheaded shit I've probably been around. Vic?
56.
56? I mean, you got anything? We could have touched on so much fucking good shit today. This is a good start. It's a solo episode. Listeners,
yeah, this is our first solo episode, really.
Vic, can you pull out the quote?
Yeah,
I'll give him a little spiel about it.
So,
let me just say this, listeners. If you're new here, first time listening, for the show, we ourselves grew up on hip hop. It meant a lot to us. I'm a firm believer that good hip hop, the lyrics deal with kind of figuring shit out. There's a lot of philosophy and perspective in it, and there's a lot to gain from it. If you're a little weirdo like we are, and you've had times where you kind of find something, or you're trying to find something, hip hop could be the answer to you discovering something about yourself, something about the world. So, excuse me, or lyrics in general. And so this week, since it's the solo dolo episode, I chose the quote. First time ever. Kinda. Season 1.
You chose some of the quotes, but this time
there's no specific though. Like for me, like I like this quote.
Gabe's quote.
Please, technician Vic.
This comes from Jay-Z. Can I live? From Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
From Reasonable Doubt. It goes, I stepped it up another level, meditated like a Buddhist, recruited lieutenants with ludicrous dreams of getting cream. Let's do this.
Yeah. Well, okay, and then listeners, when you hear this right now, what we're going to do is try to break it down. Try to break it down yourself too, because I think it is a powerful quote.
I stepped it up another level, meditated like a Buddhist, recruited lieutenants with ludicrous dreams of getting cream. Let's do this.
Yeah. Vic, does that mean anything to you, or you want me to start?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously I listen to the song a lot. There's a reason it's a quote.
Like somebody shot the fucking gun at the run. Okay, I'm good. Right.
Give it to me. Let me pull up the quote because I don't want to fuck this up. Give me 1 second, everybody. Doop 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 doop. You can't have dead air. That's bad. Dead air. Not good. Okay, so he starts out with saying, I stepped it up another level. So I think in life, we have times where it's like, okay, time to put it in gear, time to get serious. I got to come at this a little bit harder, especially if you want to like conquer something, go after something, whether it's like, I don't know, something at work, some artistic outlet, talking to somebody and getting more comfortable with communication. I don't know, you got to step it up,
Yeah.
So he stepped it up another level, meditated like a Buddhist. So I think that's kind of like symbolic for I doubt he fucking went to go find a rock and centered himself and meditated, but reflecting, you know what I'm saying? He got introspective. And then he says, recruited lieutenants with ludicrous dreams of getting cream. So recruited lieutenants, this could literally mean Reasonable Doubt's a drug heavy album where he's talking about selling drugs and shit. But this could be also kind of symbolic for like gathering a team, you know, getting some people together. Like there's a quote for that. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, have a team. Something along the lines of that. But super true, you know, he got together his people. And for those that don't know, CREAM is an acronym for Cash Rules Everything Around Me. And within itself, the acronym has just become to mean money. You know, y'all, let's go get some cream, you know, some money. And then he ends it with, let's do this. Like, okay, now it's time to start. Let's do it. So that's what it means to me. I fucking love this quote. And it's the fucking play on words is so top tier. Jay-Z has gone downhill after Reasonable Doubt. He's had his moments here and there, but
he's a little overrated.
He's a little overrated.
I mean, I kind of interpreted it the same way. It also sounds like it starts at the bottom because he says it's time to level up. So then he says, then you have to, like, I meditated. So then that took me to another level. Then I recruited people and I showed them that this is the way that we're going to do it. And then the final step was like, now that all of this is in place, it's time to do this. So it just,
that's dope.
It showed like a progression of like the type of thinking that you have to go through to finally like that's what we did here. You know what I mean? Like fucking Gabe had this idea and then it took him a while. He figured it out. He kind of planned it out. We had the guests kind of lined up after a while. He got me on board. He got Christian on board eventually. We got a bunch of people on board, people who listened to it that we asked for help.
It's so weird to me. Like, it's so crazy to me. Like, if we could toot our own horn. Like, our first video on YouTube, which has only been up 3 weeks, it's almost at 200 fucking views. Like,
hey, shout out to you guys who ever listen to this and
thank you. Honestly, like, I mean it from the bottom of my heart, truly. It's so crazy to me. Me and Victor were watching some videos before starting season 2 and putting it on YouTube, and the videos were about, like, pretty much putting your videos on YouTube, what to expect, content, blah, blah, blah. And the lady was like, don't be surprised if like your first 10 episodes don't get more than 5 views. And to think within 3 weeks, our first episode is almost at 200, it blows me away. It's like, whoa, fucking people fuck with this shit. And the goal is just to grow it more and more.
Keep going. And it's just solely because of everybody listens to it. So basically just like the end of the season 1 episode. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for listening to us just ramble. Thank you for us listening to interview people or talk to people. Thanks for watching our videos.
If you have like recommendations, like we're literally like next door to you guys. So like let us know, DM us or like fucking, I don't know.
Text us, find us.
If you have ideas that could help the show, please.
We take all ideas. We fucking a bunch of people told us to put this on YouTube before season 2. Karina told me, somebody else told me, I want to watch it, you know, listening to it. So shoot us ideas, man. Fuck.
Yeah, and even if it's a quote, you know, please. Lyrics mean so much to so many people and songs.
We need a quote for next week. Please give us quotes.
Yeah, give us some quotes, people.
Fuck,
we love to share a quote.
Also, if you're a fan of the show, please help us out by simply clicking follow or subscribe. Even writing a comment would help tremendously. It takes less than 2 seconds. 10. Oh, 2. I mean, it's really quick. Go on YouTube. You could go on the podcast app. You could do both. That'd be awesome. If you can only do one, it's just as good. Who cares, man? We out here. Also, if you have a favorite hip-hop quote to share, please DM the lyrics to either Gabe or I, potentially share on the show. Once again, we will definitely share it on the show. We need lyrics. Gabe can be found on Instagram at alwaysoneself. Again, that's alwaysoneself on Instagram. It's one word. I can be found at Lord Technician Vic. That's VIC. Vic. Show is edited by Campana Sound Company, providing recording, editing, mixing, and live sound services. Find them at campanasound.com. And thanks everybody for listening. That's the fucking TV show.